Is Yale hard?
Yes.
Is Yale hard? Yes. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm David. I'm the guy who's been going around everywhere asking people random questions around Yale. And for this one, I'm asking people if Yale is hard. Now, this might seem like a very obvious question or answer. And yeah, for me, I would say Yale is hard. But for different people, they might interpret it as in academics or just student life. But personally for me, whenever I came here in Yale, in 2019, the transition was very rough. I didn't have any friends, I didn't know anyone. I didn't come here on Bulldog days. However, as the years go by, it gets easier. The classes, the academics, it really depends on what classes you take, by the way. Some classes are harder than others. Some other classes require more work. Other classes are more lenient, but it depends. And so it really depends on how you also define hard, right? So yeah, that's just my take on it. But here are everyone else's.
It's hard if you don't ask for help. I've learned that the hard way. Mostly writing essays. You think you know how to write an essay, you do not. You think you know all the math for econ or whatever class you're in, you don't. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. Dude, right now I have a philosophy paper due tomorrow, a Russian quiz on Tuesday, a PSET due on Wednesday, a Russian test on Friday, and a 15-page sociology paper due on Friday. And I feel like I'm dying right now. Like I'm actually dying. But like other than that, like before this week, I've been kind of chilling. So I don't really know. My initial answer is yes. And like I'm pretty sure like yes. But most of the time it's manageable.
Yeah, I think Yale's pretty hard. It does depend on what you call hard though too. So I think a lot of it is just time management, to be honest, and balancing a lot of extracurriculars, stuff like that. Because there's a lot of cool stuff to do here and a lot of different things going on. So it's easy to get lost in all the different opportunities there are, because there's a lot of cool things you can be doing. But there's also a lot of great resource like office hours, peer tutors, stuff like that. So I think while it's hard to do the work, there's definitely resource to help get you through it. So even though at times like it is hard, there's always a way to get help too. So it's a good balance.
I think that Yale is definitely hard, but not in the sense that most people would think. It's hard because it gives you all of the resources that you need to succeed. But it's a matter of choosing which resources and also not giving in to all the amazing distractions because we have all those resources, like the buttery, or seeing people that I know everywhere. But Yale is hard. It's easy if you know how to use the right resources.
I would say yes, but not even in the ways that I expected. I think that Yale is hard because there's so many things that require your time here and so many things that you want to put time into. I felt like in high school, my priorities were really straightforward. It was just like, work on your classes, work really hard on that. Even if it's hard, you kind of like, that's your one thing, or at least that's what it was for me, was just get into a good college. But now I'm here and I think it's hard to think about what do you want to do like now that your dreams have come true, maybe, like for people who have wanted to come here their entire lives. And so it's hard being here and sort of like stepping back from academics and thinking about what I want to do with the rest of my life. And I feel like I finally have time to make those decisions and to like try new extracurriculars that I haven't tried before, like make the decisions about whether I want another job or whether I want to take another class and things like that. So I think it's hard because I feel like the choices that we make here kind of shape the rest of our lives, and that's hard to think about. So yeah, I would say that Yale is hard, but not even in the way that I expected.
In my opinion, Yale is not that hard. I think I think like they know when they pick people that they are well suited based on their background or overcoming adversity or past achievements, that they're able to succeed here. And kind of with that in mind, they also give you a lot of platforms to continue that level of success. So they're focused on looking for people with past success that will really contributes to people that ultimately achieve future success here. So I think like that kind of self-selection in combination with like all the different platforms of support they provide here, and the general openness of the students and the professors in general, to me, makes Yale not that hard. I mean, what ultimately gets in the way for a lot of people is just other aspects of their life. But like kind of looking at Yale objectively in that sense, I don't think it's hard, but you know, it does kind of also facilitate like difficulties in, you know, other aspects of your life. So objectively, I don't think Yale is hard, but when life kind of comes into play and comes into the mix, as it does for everybody, it can become hard. But I wouldn't say that when your life comes into this equation, it is Yale itself that making the situation difficult. It's more of just like a new combination of Yale as an institution and you as an individual kind of clashing. Yeah.
Yes, but not in the same way that I feel like people would expect. Like, the coursework is like intense, but I also feel like sometimes it's just like hard, like mental health wise, and like resources aren't available to everyone equally in that sort of sense. So that makes it tougher than just like the academic coursework.
I feel like a lot of people come here with a certain expectation, and because of that expectation, they might force themselves to try to fit into a box that they like have created for themselves. But like when you come here, liberal arts education makes you like explore different pathways. And so I think once you finally find your niche, it's not a matter of if something is hard or not, it's a matter of are you willing to push through and find out more?
Some classes more so than others, but I think just the expectation and the workload that's pressed upon, like that's put upon you, makes everything so much harder.
I think maybe it's not as hard as you expect it to be because it's like such a big name school. But and it depends on the class. But you know, school is hard. Life is hard. It can be hard.
I think everyone has like hard times at Yale. I think like different things can be hard for anyone, and probably everyone finds something that's hard. But I think it's also a good place for things to be hard because there's a lot of support and there's a lot of people who are like figuring out their own stuff. And so it is, but it's also like, it's not necessarily a terrible thing.
I don't personally think so. I mean, I've been in situations which were much more academically rigorously. Yale is hard only in terms of some emotional situation for me, because I'm a first year, so it was quite hard to adapt to another country. I'm also an international student. And it was quite hard to find new friends, to overcome the language barrier and stuff. But speaking of academics, Yale is not hard. Speaking of emotional circumstances and personal life, Yale is hard.
It's just after a certain point, everything becomes work, like going up the stairs to get to your room, like picking up a plate at the dining hall. Simple things become like, you know, but there's some reward sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, I think college is hard. Like, I don't think it's just Yale. But I think Yale is hard because of who's at Yale. I think that's what it is. Because I'm at Yale, but people with very different experiences are also at Yale. And that's hard. But I think college is hard in general. But I did have multiple crises today because of Yale classes, so maybe I'm a little biased.
Yale's really hard, actually. I don't know what anyone else has said, but Yale is definitely really hard. I think it's hard in different ways for different people. which is like part of why it's so hard, is because it's not hard in the same way for everyone. Everyone's going to struggle with things differently, whether it's, social adjustments or academics or, I don't know, anything. It's a hard place. It's a rough time, especially now. I don't know. It's not super easy at times. But it's about, having support networks and getting through it. I'd say it's hard in many different ways for many different people. Some people don't struggle too much academically. I mean, we all study different stuff, so it's a little hard to make a blanket statement. For me, it's hard academically. Stuff to, it's, you're learning intense stuff, and it's can be a lot of work at times. Stuff can really pile up. We're approaching finals right now as we're filming this. It's definitely hard, but they say that anything in life that is hard is worth doing, so.